Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sound Bites, where we're going to give you a glimpse into what drives the Virginia Symphony Orchestra community during this unprecedented time. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm Brenda Snow, a very proud supporter of the VSO, and hope you are too, or will be. Today, we're going to talk to a very special person involved with the VSO, probably my all-time favorite is everybody that's a musician. It's a skill I don't have, and the music moves me. So please welcome Rodney Martell. Hi, Rodney.
Hello, Brenda. Nice to see you.
And you are a bass trombonist.
Yes, so I'm the orchestra's bass trombonist, and I'm also the orchestra's artistic administrator on staff.
Great. Tell me what that means.
Well, the artistic administrator is the staff member who essentially is in charge of programming. So making sure, working with the creative staff, meaning the conductors, in getting them to submit programs and working out logistics with them and hiring guest artists and finalizing programs and really making sure that their creative ideas come to fruition.
Well, you do a very good job, because I think there's one thing, having traveled all over the world and my husband and I loving the arts and seeing orchestras and attending events all over, I think one of the things that stands out to me about the VSO so much is the creativity and the programming. It is very interesting and diverse. Do you have a favorite that you've done that you've either played in or helped bring to fruition?
Well, definitely I think the favorite thing that I have done, the thing that I have enjoyed about the symphony is my whole family has been involved in music here. And my wife is a conductor who's conducted us a few times.
Wow.
I believe she will also be interviewed as well.
Great.
But both of my kids sang with the Virginia Children's Chorus, and they've been one of our frequent community partners in performances. And so anytime I had my kids on stage with me at the same time was my favorite. I think in particular, though, a few years ago, we did the Bernstein Mass, and it's such an incredible production. We did it with the Arts Festival, and my daughter sang in that. And to be on stage with her during such an incredible piece of music, you can't imagine what it feels like, just having your kid there who you've seen grow up, and now they're sharing a stage with you. It was very memorable.
That's great. Proud dad moment, but also a great musical moment, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. One of the things that, I'm trying to specifically do on Sound Bites, because I care a lot about this orchestra and about the role it plays in our community. What would be your perspective as to why music is important to each and every one of us, or what is the richness, in your opinion, that it brings to a community?
Well, I think I can speak specifically to a symphony orchestra's role in the community. So music is something that speaks to almost everybody, first of all. But what a symphony orchestra does that's very special is how many people we bring into the community. So the Virginia Symphony has 50 people who have come in who otherwise probably wouldn't be living or working in this community. And we come and we live here. We make Hampton Roads our home. And we play in your churches. We teach your children. And we buy homes here. We pay taxes here. We're not just an act who comes in for a weekend, might give a master class and then leaves. We're really members of the community. And as a symphony orchestra, which really can really function as the backbone of the musical community, we can collaborate with almost anybody. We've collaborated, obviously, with the opera, with the Virginia Arts Festival, with Norfolk State, with Old Dominion, with the Virginia Children's Chorus, with Todd Rosenlieb Dance. We've played at the Contemporary Arts Center. We've played at the Ferguson. We do everything. We're everywhere. Yeah. And because of the nature of the symphony orchestra, we're all really sort of flexible and adept at playing different kinds of music. So that's something we can do in the community. We're sort of like we we're just part of the fabric of the musical and arts community. And it's just a really great thing that we can bring as a symphony orchestra.
It's the best thing you guys bring. You're so incredibly talented too. I tell you, I've never had a bad moment, only an amazing moment listening to all of you play. Hey, while we're kind of, doing these little web chats, we are in the midst of like another, big coronavirus surge. And I know it's really affected the arts. Part of one of my reasons for wanting to do this is just to help people to remember, give of your time, give of your wallet if you can. Please let's support this treasure while we're doing this. But do you have any thoughts about, has the pandemic changed the way live music will be consumed? I mean, do you think that the online presence, so to speak, will continue to stay, or do you feel people are really craving to get back to these concert halls?
I'd like to believe that everybody's really craving to get back. I think there will be some permanent shifts in the way we present. I feel like it is only inevitable that we'll continue to have an online presence to our presentations. And it'll probably give us ideas, especially how to reach people who may not otherwise be able to come to our concerts. That we've, in the past, I wouldn't say we've written them off, but it's just not been practical. But I think it may become part of the permanent practice of symphony orchestras across the country. Like most musicians, I know we're doing a lot of the online things, but it's very unsatisfying for us.
Yeah.
And I know today we had a great report on a potential vaccine, and we're all hoping it really comes to fruition soon, because we're just dying to get back to play in front of our audiences who have stuck with us the last 100 years of the organization.
It is 100 years. And I've said it before on this program, it's not lost on me that it started in a pandemic and we're celebrating 100 years in the middle of a pandemic. But, back to follow up on your, that this online component might be part of it. Do you think that's a way? Because I really want to hope and think that the younger generation will see the value of orchestral music, symphonic music, and that, we broaden that reach to today's young people. I mean, do you see that happening? What's your thoughts?
Yes, I see it happening. I did read something recently that indicated that the consumption of classical music on Spotify by people in their 20s and younger even has actually gone up during the pandemic. And I mean, that's really gratifying to see something like that. We can't take any credit for it at all as a symphony orchestra, but I'm hoping it continues to be a trend. It's sort of a healing power of what we do. In the stressful times, there's something it's relaxing, but it's more than relaxing. I really think that what we do has the power to heal people and soothe people.
I do too, and it has for me too. That's why I feel passionate about this orchestra and about this kind of music. So your instrument that you play is very low.
Yes, it is.
And
right.
Do you have a favorite piece of music or a story you could share with us before you let us play that and let us hear how low it is?
Sure. Well, the Virginia Symphony had the good fortune of traveling to the Kennedy Center years ago. And we'd gone to Carnegie a couple years before that, and then we got invited to play at the Kennedy Center. It was a big deal for us. And
it is a big deal.
Yeah, so one of my favorite memories was the trip to the Kennedy Center, but especially the what happened during the concert. We went up and it was a snowstorm. The coach could barely get up there. We had problems getting from the hotel to the Kennedy Center. It was treacherous. It was fraught with peril, and everything was delayed. But we finally got there. We did our sound check, and we did the concert. And we start with the opening piece, which was really like a large tone poem kind of a piece with a very big orchestra. And so everybody was on stage for that. But then the second piece was a concerto for violin and viola that had a much smaller orchestra. And as is the tradition with symphony orchestras, if you're not playing on a piece, you vacate the stage, right? It's like an actor. If you're not in a scene, you're not sitting on the stage watching everybody else act. You leave the stage. And that's what we do. So we played the first piece. We got ready to leave the stage. And the Kennedy Center, the shell, which is the enclosure that surrounds the orchestra, has a variety of doors that you can push. The only problem is they don't really look like doors. Everything looks like the rest of the shell. So being our first time there, we didn't know which ones would let us out. So there's about 10 of us on stage left trying to get out between pieces. The audience is looking at us and we're just trying to get out. And so we go there and we just start pushing on the shell. And we started to panic because nothing was opening up. It was just like, oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? And we started to, then the lights started to dim and the soloist got ready to come out. And we were just like, we've got to sit down. We just got to go sit down and find a seat. And so suddenly it was like this big game of musical chairs where we all just ran back and tried to sit wherever we could. And I was sitting in a seat next to, I think, an English horn player and a bassoonist, and people I'd never sit next to, but they're sitting there. Some of them like holding their cases, just sitting there. The contrabassoonist panicked and like hid under the choral risers, which is like a set of bleachers. So he sat under the choral risers for this whole thing. And the soloist and Joanne comes out and she goes to conduct. She just looks and setting us back there. And I just see her like,
yeah, exactly.
You know, and we just kind of shrugged and we were stuck. And as it turned out, we weren't stupid and not able to find it. Turns out that one of the stagehands that actually came up with the Virginia Symphony had latched the door in between pieces. And the Kennedy Center staff was all laughing. We never latch that door. You're not supposed to latch that door. And anyway, so that was one of my, it was really embarrassing at the time, but I can laugh about it now.
Yeah, years later, I bet. That's great. And you very quickly became the actor on the stage during the scene.
Yes, we had to sit there and act very engaged and into the music, even though most people in the audience were like, what are they doing?
Oh, this is great. I'm glad that we could add a little levity for people watching today. Okay, hey, before we say goodbye to you, and I can't wait to also talk to your wife coming up, let me hear something from that big trombone.
Yes, so this is the bass trombone, and the bass trombone there's only one of us in the orchestra, and we're sort of the bridge between the trombone section and the tuba. All right, so we're pitched somewhere in between the two. And I'm going to play something for you today, and I hope everything goes well.
It will. Bravo. See, you brought tears to my eyes there, Rodney. That was my grandparents' favorite. Lovely. See, the power of music.
Well, thank you very much. It's always an honor to play for people, even though it's not a live audience right now. This is what we got these days, and we're making the most of it. We're all getting really good at recording to click tracks and and
Yep.
playing with people remotely. And we'll be back soon. We promise.
We will. Let's say a prayer. We will be back soon, and let's hope, everybody, that you can help us celebrate 100 years of the Virginia Symphony Orchestra. And please, any way that you can give of yourself, please don't be shy. You can get connected here on this website. Again, I can't say it enough. It's a real treasure in our community, and people like Rodney and his family have made a difference in so many of our lives. So again, Rodney, thank you so much today for being with me. I really appreciate it.
Brenda.
And to all of you, come back and check out another edition of Sound Bites real soon. Until then, take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.